Okay. Well, I just played my opening theme and I forgot I hadn't put myself into the studio. So, all right. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that. You didn't get to see the opening song. My bad. Kind of doing this on the run today because I'm running late as usual. Uh, but for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm the Grumpy Vlogger, and I am now doing the Grumpy Vlogger podcast in lieu of my daily vlog. I think I was at season 4, episode, I don't know, can't remember now, uh, 15 or something like that. And this is my number 4 podcast. For those of you who are listening to this on one of my podcast channels, just remember you can always catch this on YouTube under the Grumpy Vlogger. And you can see the video. You can see what I look like. Or you can download this either at grumpyvlogger.info or you can download it through, currently I am on, uh, yeah, let me look into that. Let's see. Anyway, something cloud. Uh, anyways, I'll I'll have the link in the description where you can go to my you can go to where my podcasts are hosted. I'm also going to be doing them on a couple of different, I'm going to be trying out some different platforms for doing this podcast. So, but if you're just listening to podcasts, just welcome to the Grumpy Vlogger podcast. Uh, it's let's start with what's important. Well, let's go to the weather first and see what our weather's like here in Muskogee, Oklahoma. It is currently 26 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 3 Celsius. We are in a warming trend right now. We got 50% humidity, wind out of the north at 17 miles per hour. The barometer as 30.44 inches. And I don't, it's 1031.7 MB. That's obviously metric. I'm in the United States, so I don't know metric. We got 13 degrees Fahrenheit dew point, minus 11. Uh, Celsius visibility is 10 miles an hour, wind chill is 13. And with that, let's go back to this. I was very fortunate last night. Uh, I do 3 live shows, or well, I'm part of 3 live shows, actually 4 live shows on YouTube. For those of you listening on podcasts, one of them is Oz by Drone. That I do a lot of background work, and I make at least 1 or 2 you know 3-second appearances on the show. Sometimes I end up co-hosting because uh, John Morrison, who is the who's a famous Australian drummer as well as a pilot. Sometimes his internet's a little glitchy there in Australia, so uh, I have to step in for him. But so I do that on Friday nights at 6 o'clock Central Time during the winter, and 8 o'clock Central Time, Central Daylight Time, uh, during the summer. I also co-host Arts Place Conservative Talk on Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. Central Time, and 400 AGL Live at 6 o'clock Central Time, both on Sundays. Then I do my own live show, the Grumpy Vlogger Live, on at 7 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. Try to do it every Monday. So, anyways, that's what you guys can look forward to if you are hearing this on the podcast. So, yeah. So, anyways, there's another segment that I've been doing that I've been having a lot of fun with, or I think I'll have fun with it. So far, I have. And let me get everything brought up the way it's supposed to be. Let's see. Which one is it? Okay. Let's do. this one, and let me bring up. Sorry, guys. I hate. It's nothing worse than dead air. And but is that it? Okay, it looks like I got everything in place. So I apologize for that dead air. Part of what I'm using, it sometimes my stuff gets rearranged when I click on other windows, but let's just go ahead and start with. And you guys that are listening to this on podcast, this is my opening for my news segment, funny news that you'll find around the world, or at least in the United States. So. Okay, I am Lloyd Mendenhall, your GNN reporter. That's the Grumpy News Network. We are part of the BSBS network, the BS Broadcasting System. And I'm proud to be a member of that. And so, if you want to get stupid news, crazy news, and silly news, you can find it on this podcast or on this YouTube channel. So, let's just start out. Weather has been a big thing this week on the podcast because of the weather we've been having here in Oklahoma. But let's just go right to this. I haven't really read this story real well, but the headline just caught me. New Jersey man sets fire to his lawn to get rid of snow and ice, the cops say. Let's bring that up here. If you encounter a particularly rough patch of ice or snow while shoveling this winter, don't reach for a can of gasoline like Midland Park man did this past Friday. Now, this is out of New Jersey. Police and firefighters responded to the man's home on Patterson Avenue where he had set a small fire to try to melt the snow and ice. Once the fire department arrived, they called the Bergen County Hazmat Unit, who used speed dry to sop up the gas. The man, whom police would not name, luckily for him, had poured about a half gallon of gasoline on a gravelly 2-foot by 2-foot square section of his backyard. He thought a good idea would be to dump some gasoline on and light it. A neighbor called police after smelling something burning around 7:30 p.m. I don't recall ever being dispatched to something like that, Gibbons said. It's not very common, let's put it that way. More snow is forecast for Thursday across New Jersey. Anyway, so that, and I'm getting these stories from, let's see, this particular one, New Jersey Advanced Media from NewJersey.com. So, and as I say, if you guys find a news story that that you think would be fun for me to have on this show, well, please do send it or send me the link to it so that I can use it on the show. And let's see. This one is pair of burglary suspects arrested after deputies followed footprints in the snow. These next two segments, I think, are under stupid criminals, okay? Pierce County, Washington. Sorry for the rest of you people who don't live in my part of the world. Pierce County, Washington. A pair of burglary suspects was arrested early Sunday in Tacoma after deputies followed their footprints in the snow to track them down. Police with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department were called at 2:30 a.m. to the 3400 block of 72nd Street East. When a deputy arrived at the scene, he saw two men fleeing, authorities said. Instead of running after the men, deputies checked the house first to determine if possible crime had been committed. A detached garage had a broken window on a door. A K-9 was deployed and followed two sets of footprints in the snow, one leading from the garage to a church parking lot, where a man was found hiding in a dumpster under a piece of cardboard. A second set of footprints led deputies to a tree, and they called the second man to climb down. Both suspects were arrested and booked in Pierce County Jail for second-degree burglary and obstructing an officer. The man found in a dumpster was also booked for unlawful possession of a controlled substance. Do you think the controlled substance might have been the reason they did something so stupid? I have no clue, but it makes you wonder. And let's see how we're doing here. Okay, my third and final story of the news segment of the Grumper Vlogger show. Fleeing driver tries to escape by climbing into Vista Jail. And this comes out of the Associated Press, it's Vista, California. Authorities say a man fleeing San Diego County Sheriff's deputies made one big mistake. He tried to escape by climbing into jail. Oh. You know, I talked about some stupid burglars yesterday and criminals yesterday. It just never ceases to amaze me, the stupidity of some criminals. Anyways, he tried to escape by climbing into jail. The San Diego Union Tribune says the chase began around 2 a.m. Tuesday after a police officer in Oceanside tried to pull over a Nissan sedan for a minor traffic violation. The car didn't stop and a chase began into nearby Vista, where sheriff's deputies took over. Authorities say the driver meandered through the city for nearly 20 minutes before pulling into a parking lot of the Vista jail. Authorities say the driver got out, ran, climbed over the fence into the area where prisoners are taken for booking. He was making it easy for him, and that's just what happened. The 35-year-old man was arrested and booked for resisting and obstructing police. Okay, and the information was from the San Diego Union Tribune. So, and I got this actually off of Tucson.com. So, and with that said, folks, that's our news wrap-up for today. Okay, I want to thank you guys for today's news. Is part of the Grumpy News Network, and it is a part of the BSBS, the BS Broadcasting System. And anyway, so last night I was asked and participated in a live show with my good friend Art Carlson, who has Arco Drone Solutions YouTube channel, Arts Plays Conservative Talk, and Arts Plays Fishing, I believe. And I am the co-host on his Sunday afternoon show, Arts Plays Conservative Talk. We did a tribute, and it wasn't just a tribute. We talked about Rush Limbaugh. And those of you who are following me either on the podcast or on YouTube know that, because I announced it yesterday on my show here, that Rush Limbaugh had passed away. Now, I know those of you that will hear this in the audio broadcast can't see it, but years ago, actually, it's the first two books that he ever had ever written, and I'm showing this to the camera, is I have the two books and have read both of them, The Way Things Ought to Be, and See, I Told You So. Both books were given to me as presents. I think my wife got me the first one, The Way Things Ought to Be, and See, I Told You So. I think my wife got me The Way Things Ought to Be from Rush Limbaugh for my birthday one year, 88 or 80, 89 or 90, whenever they came out. Might have been 92. And then for Christmas, when the next book came out, my mother got me that one, or Mom and Dad got it for me. And I've read the books, I've enjoyed the books, and I'm probably going to reread them again, because I heard talk today that for those of us, for those of you don't know it and are listening on the podcast, I am a conservative, and I do talk about conservative issues. Not all the time, but I will occasionally mention it. And the loss of Rush Limbaugh has been a big setback for conservatism, because he led the charge on so many things. I mean, he did it, and he did it with satire, and he did it with, and we were discussing that last night. We all talked about the first time we heard him, and the first few times I just thought, this man is just too obnoxious and egotistical for me. Coming from a guy who talks about his life every day on YouTube, and I thought he was too egotistical, but he said, give me time and listen to me for a couple weeks and you'll get it. And he's right, I did. And I was a very loyal listener for many years. And myself and Art Carlson and Mike Roach on Archplate's Conservative Talk special edition last night, we were able to discuss how we first started listening to him, and how that affected or influenced us in our thinking of elections, and how big of a loss it is. So, again, my condolences go out to the family and friends of Rush Limbaugh, his staff members, and from what I understand, what I've heard today, they're just all very devastated. But, life goes on, and with luck, somebody will come in and fill the void. I think whatever happens now is going to change, because AM talk radio was about to die out until he came along, and now he boosted both AM and then FM conservative talk, because there was nothing for conservatives on FM. And I have no clue why my light is flickering like that on the YouTube channel, but I'm just going to leave it, because I really don't have any choice. Unless this is a bad one, I'll redo it again. So, but that's my thought about it. I think it's going to be. I think a lot of the problem is we've got, like many of you may be listening to me on a podcast. You guys are listening on your phones, download a podcast, or you're listening on your, either your iPhone or your Samsung or your Android phone, I should say, or your tablets or something like that. And that's fine too. That's, this is just an extension of broadcast journalism now. And I am not a journalist. I don't claim to be. I'm just a grumpy old fart with an opinion and an observation of life. But I really hope you guys will stick with me. I am going to try and keep these around 20 minutes, and I will be announcing, and in each one of these podcasts on YouTube, I will have a link to where SoundCloud, that's where I have it at right now. I have them hosted at SoundCloud, but I'm looking at, I think it's Podbean and Podsprout. I'm looking at those two as also possible host for this. So, and I'll try their, 30 days free thing and see how I like it. But I'm also working on having a private hosting service, and then just getting the RSS and have it sent to, Amazon or iTunes, the iTunes store or whatever, something like that. So, anyways, or Google. But with that said, I have hit the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to call this the end of podcast number 4. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're getting some. I hope it's entertaining, and to say the least. And I do know why I'm getting the flickering. Light is coming in from my left side over there, and there's a curtain over there, and the sun is just starting to set. I ran this about an hour later than usual, and it's bouncing off my camera, causing the autofocus to try and adjust. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do this last little part here. Those of you that are listening to this on podcast won't see this, but those of you on YouTube, this is my last little bit. I'll come back with closing thought. Okay, folks, as I always say, be kind. Treat each other better than you would treat yourselves. This would be a nice world. All lives matter, and they really do. They really do. All lives matter. Even us fat old grumpy folks. And yeah, you guys may not hear that, but I can hear it because of what I got running. A dog barking outside. Now my dogs are barking. Also, thank you for the prayers for Judy and myself. Also, remember Rick Halber, who is a big supporter of this channel and many of the channels in the drone community. Keep him in your prayers. Let's keep the Limbaugh family, friends in your prayers as well. And let's say a prayer for this country of ours, the United States. We need to do that. So, as I say, God bless, God help the USA. I'm the Grumpy Vlogger, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye for now.